It's Tuesday, it's 9 o'clock. That means it's time for the Money Talk radio show with NuMark Credit Union. Today's theme, Community in Action. I've got a couple people joining me in studio. Joining us on the phone in studio, I have Wally, the veteran and NuMark board member. Michele Barnett, who's the Wreaths Across America location coordinator, and then on the phone, Marquez, who is the marketing assistant with NuMark Credit Union. And make sure you keep listening. At the end of the show, we'll give you a chance to win a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. But first, to my guests, Wally, Michele, Maria, welcome. How are you all doing?
Doing well, Evan. Very
Hi,
good.
good morning.
Good morning.
So thank you so much for coming in, talking about this. Obviously, we're talking about community in action, and I know you guys were in last month, and when you were in last month, you guys had the opportunity to talk about the ceremony on December 13th of the Wreath Lanes. Now, Michele, Wally, remind us a little bit about that event, and then tell us how did it go? What was the response from the community like?
Well, the Wreaths Across America event was surprisingly large, the amount of people that came out for as cold as it was that day. It was, we were up almost sub-zero temperatures, and we had 600 to 700 cars that our parking guys took care of, and which to me equates to 12 to 1,500 people. And it was just amazing to see that number of people come together and to honor our veterans.
That's wild to me to hear that many cars, because we were talking about during the morning show, like going to theme parks, and those are places that are designed like for people getting in and out quickly, and they're trained in how to do that so well, and they struggle in handling that kind of quantity. And then you hear about an event like this and how smooth everything goes, and it's just a reminder of just how good our area is at supporting events like this, but also the volunteers who come forward and help out, and people like you who put these things together in order to ensure that that place can take that many people, have that many cars, have that many people on the grounds. It's an immense undertaking.
Yeah, well, Walmart offered up their distribution center parking lot that's right there in Elwood, and that has just over 500 parking spaces. And then for a long time, the IBEW has been coming out and bringing their apprentices to guide all the parking traffic, and they've just done an amazing job.
For you, with the Wreath Lane, Michele, what does that ceremony, what does that symbolize about our community, how our community treats veterans? I mean, what do you come away from that event kind of seeing that ceremony stand as?
It's so refreshing to see people come together for a reason and pay respects and honor to the veterans and the families, because I think it's important to show the families how much we appreciate their loved one's service and what they gave for the country.
Now, Wally, I know you're a veteran. Participating in an event like this, it obviously helps keep the memory of those who have fallen alive. To talk about that aspect of it, and as a veteran yourself, what it means to see a community care about their veterans, take steps to try to at least remember and honor the sacrifice that these people have made for us.
Well, first of all, just to have Abraham Lincoln in our backyard is just a tremendous asset. It's remarkable. This facility is going to eventually have like 450,000 veterans buried out there. And but it's this show of respect. The Remember, the Honor, Teach is the theme of the the Wreaths Across America program. And if you have an opportunity, it isn't until we don't remove the wreaths until the 17th. Take a ride out there, and you will be impressed by the 25,000 wreaths that are laid out there to show the respect that the community gives back to all the veterans that have served out there. There are many veterans that are out there that have been killed in action. I think there's about 25 or 30 that are out there. And then, of course, all the other ones who have maybe come back from conflicts that have had emotional and physical disabilities, that they're out there. We must never forget that. We must never forget what those people have given for this country. And kudos to Michele over here for putting on a great coordinated program. I mean, like you said, 500-600 cars showing up, in a short period of time. And the busing, everybody got in there, get out, and I would say, I'm thinking, Michele, about an hour. We were done after the ceremony they have a nice ceremony there.
Yeah.
But it was about an hour. Everybody was heading back to the buses,
Michele, was there a specific moment from this year's ceremony, a specific moment or event that took place that maybe resonated with you this year?
I think for me, it was really just I already mentioned it, but the number of people that showed up that day, it was just astounding.
Yeah, considering the weather. The
Yeah.
weather was not. I've been doing that for like 15 years, and this is probably in top 3 with not the most pleasant weather that we had.
And even with that and all the people that are showing up, well, why do you think it resonates so much with people in our area?
You know, they just, I tell you, I want to give you a little story. You know, when you go out to place the wreaths to each section, there's a person standing there because there's grave-specific forms that are where somebody went online earlier in this year and wanted a wreath placed at somebody's location. And I went there, I placed the one I wanted, and then I went back and I asked for another form. And they give you one, you take it out, and there was a comment section there, and it says, would you please, if you could, take a photo of my dad's grave and send it to me. And there was a phone number there. And so this gentleman was a Korean War veteran that I placed. I never met him, but I met him that day, you know. And and they lived in Florida. And about a half hour, 45 minutes later, I got back a text from after sending it. It was pretty, it hit the spot, you know. But this Wreaths Across America program provides that opportunity. So if you have a veteran that is a distance from you and you would like to remember them, you can go online in October, any time of the year.
Any time of the year.
Any time of the year, and have it all set up, and you know, and know that somebody at our receiving end, which was Abraham Lincoln, is going to go and place a wreath at that loved one's grave, and the family, you know, can feel like, hey, you know, mom or dad or uncle or brother was, remembered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone pays them. I always look at it as we go and pay them a visit, you know, at their resting place, and so it's a way for you to have someone go and pay your loved one a visit, and you know, it's great that I love that people ask to have photos texted to them.
I'm curious, while you're a veteran, you participate in an event like this, how does it resonate with you? Why do you still feel a need or an obligation to participate with events like this?
Well, you know, personally, you know, I spent 13 months in Vietnam. I was very fortunate to come back, and there's others that have not, you know. And
I can say right now on the radio, that's the only time I've ever seen my dad break down and cry, when we went to the Vietnam Memorial.
Yeah.
And he found a friend's name on the wall. To see that in person, that lasting impact, it's unbelievable.
And I know other veterans, they could walk up to that memorial also, and they can put a face to it, the name that's etched in that black granite wall, you know. So that's, whether it's personal or whatever, but that's, we can never forget, not just the Vietnam era, but every era, you know.
You talked about the Korean War. It's not a conflict we talk about very much at all. I mean, when you think about it, when we talk about history, when I studied it in school, we won World War II and then we fought Vietnam.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where history jumped, and there was a whole era that, for whatever reason, forgotten. Not intentionally.
Yeah, no.
Not cast aside because they did anything wrong. Just for whatever reason.
Yeah. It was overlooked.
It's been overlooked, and it needs to be brought back to the forefront, kind of our consciousness.
Yeah, so it was kind of nice to have that go up to that gentleman's memorial and place the wreath there.
Now, I know you guys talked about January 17th. That is the scheduled cleanup day.
Yes.
For the wreaths at. Why is the cleanup, I assume, just as important as the laying of the actual wreaths? I know we all think about, we'll go out and lay the wreaths, and then when the holidays are over, the wreaths will magically all disappear and they'll just be gone, and we'll do it again next year. There's a whole process on the back end of this that you guys have to think about as well. Kind of walk us through that a little bit, that process.
Well, the cemetery's floral policy is that all of the winter decorations have to be cleaned up by Martin Luther King Day. And because they have services during the week, it's always the Saturday before Martin Luther King Day has been traditionally the day that's been the cleanup day. It's where we need volunteers to come out, bring a broomstick, your rake, something with a long pole that you can string wreaths on, walk through the headstones or the columbariums and slide the wreaths on there, and then you walk them to the edge of the road. And we need people with pickup trucks, because then they get loaded into the back ends of pickup trucks and driven to dumpsters that are there at the cemetery that they'll get disposed of. And it's it depends on the weather, like it can go quickly. Last year it was done in a couple of hours. The year before it took weeks because we had that long period of sub-zero temperatures. And
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it took a long time. But it's the more people come out, the quicker it goes, and definitely some people with pickup trucks we could just throw in the back of their trucks and
yeah. And Michele, last year I remember there was somebody was picking up the wreaths. The section I was in, there were 3 gentlemen with their trucks and their trailers. They were loading up the wreaths to take to a pond somewhere. They were going to put in for habitat for fish. And then I think you had a story about goats.
Yeah, there was a lady that came out last year. She didn't have a truck, but she came with her car and loaded the trunk of her car up with wreaths, and she fed them to her goats. So the wreaths got a second life.
Okay. I imagine when you're in a position like yours, organizing the wreath lane and then the wreath cleanup, you need help with the cleanup. If someone's calling and says, "Hey, I can use these for animals on my farm, or use these for habitat for fish," who are you to say?
Yeah.
Come on down.
No, if you're willing to help us and come out and take time out of your day to come help us and honor our veterans, fine, take a couple wreaths and let the goats have a field day. But that's got to be the most out there one, right?
Yeah.
My goat? I mean, that's not a call you get regularly. Can my goat come and help dispose of the landscaping? That's not usually.
And for that Saturday, the 17th, if somebody's not able to walk, if they have a pickup truck, just we'll load them up the pickup truck and you just take it. Michelle's arranging to have dumpsters at a specific site there, and they'll take it over to the dumpsters.
And then we could have somebody else unload it.
So if you can just an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want to spend.
Yeah.
It's the Money Talk Radio Show. Today's theme, Community in Action. I'm Evan Bredesen, joined in studio by Wally, Chlipala, and Michele Barnett. On the phone, Maria Marquez, who is the marketing assistant for NuMark Credit Union. And Maria, I wanted to ask you, I see a lot of these events, patriotic events, community-focused events in our area, and it seems that every single one I see or hear that NuMark was involved in some way, shape, or form. So I guess I just ask you, since you're the person, what role does NuMark play in these events, and why do they find it so important to participate, especially in the patriotic theme events in our community?
Well, NuMark is just very proud to honor our veterans and support our community. We are about people helping people, all about the community, and we try to do the best we can for our surrounding communities. With a lot of our board members being veterans, our members being veterans, we just try to be out there and, just show appreciation and gratitude for everything that they've done for us. Throughout the year, we try to be a part of these events at the Abraham Lincoln Cemetery. And I know we've also partnered up with you guys, WJL, to do live broadcasts. So it's just important to show face and be out there and, volunteer as much as we can.
Yeah, and with a lot of, especially an event like this, I know where we've helped and we've done broadcasts out there. A lot of times for people, and I'm sure the three of you know this, it's people just weren't even aware. They didn't know. People will hear about these things sometimes after and go, "Well, why didn't you guys say anything on the radio about it?" And I'm like, "Talked about it for 3 weeks, or I talked about it for a month." And sometimes it just doesn't reach people, and you just need to keep putting the message out there, because eventually it will get through, because there are so many people who want to participate and want to help in things like this. Maria, what are some other events that you guys are involved with, and what are some other ways that people can help within the community?
We try to participate a lot of flag bending out there at Abraham Lincoln. Last year, it was our first time doing Patriot Day, so we were out there also helping clean out the grave sites. I know we have staff participate, at the wreath laying ceremony, and throughout the year, whether it's Memorial Day or Independence Day, we try to do our flag bills to gather donations. We also are a part of helping Honor Flight Chicago and Honor Flight Quad City, since those are the hubs that are around our branches. So we do donations for them, and we also do matches, whether it's for Wreaths Across America or honor flight. We just, just a way to encourage people to donate with our matches and showing face that we're also out there. We're not just collecting money, but we're also sending, encouraging our staff and members to go out and participate and just make it fun and show that, it's just a little bit of time to give a lot. It's a little, but it gives back a lot.
I mean, how can members and the community, how can they get involved in these initiatives? It's always, front of mind around the holidays, around specific days, but these are year-round efforts that are going on. How can people be involved, year-round in helping, you guys and these different events kind of reach their objectives and goals?
I mean, I know at NuMark we try to send an email blast. We have displays at our lobbies. I know that if you sign up once, as a volunteer with Wreaths Across America, you get those yearly emails, because I know I get them saying, because you signed up in the past or because you currently signed up, we encourage you, or they send you an invitation to reminders of when to attend. Even with Honor Flight, those flights go out throughout the year, and we have staff that also attend at the Midway Airport to just, receive our veterans. So it's just a matter of signing up once, and then you'll start getting those emails. And if you, know people, just have groups of people and just go out and make a fun day out of it. Really, it's a good time.
Yeah, I want to ask Wally and Michele, because with a lot of these events, we talk about them in terms of the time of the year and the traditions that they have and that they mean for our area. But let's talk a little bit about some of these events like the Wreath Lane and the Cleanup, why it matters kind of just beyond the quote-unquote tradition aspect, and what kind of deeper meaning it has, not just for the facility, but for our area and for you two personally, making this a big part of your lives and helping these types of events and helping get these things out to the public. Talk about, Michele, a little bit for you, why it matters so much.
Well, I really appreciate what Wreaths Across America's mission is. It's to remember the fallen, to honor those who serve, and to teach the next generation the importance of freedom. And it just kind of says everything about what it means to for communities to come together and do those things, and show their respect and honor for those who serve. And NuMark does a great job of all their patriotic outreaches.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, because Michele mentioned the younger generations. How do we get the younger generations? Because that's always a fear, apathy, or just, with each generation, how do we keep getting them back involved? How do we make sure that, they continue on the legacies and the traditions of this? What have you seen from the younger generations, and what do you think people can do to try to get those younger generations to be a little more active, not just in events like this, but in the community in general?
Yeah, out there that day when we placed the wreaths in December, there were a lot of youth groups from schools and stuff that were out there, and they were participating, and you had a lot of families bringing their young kids, which I was really surprised with the weather being, but they were bundled up. They looked like Ralphie in A Christmas Story, all bundled. But that was fine. That's what you want. But the part that really is touching is when they start the ceremony. They recognize the Gold Star families. Okay, and those Gold Star families have to feel a comfort that their loved ones aren't forgotten about, because there's 1,200 people that are out there wanting to place wreaths that day, and because the Gold Star families have lost somebody, they're the ones that somebody was killed in action or so and buried out there, and that's quite a you could say emotional, remarkable time. That, listen, this is why we're out there, and we can not celebrate, but remember and honor, and then of course teach the young ones about.
Right. I mean, I teach those younger generations. I mean, we talk about the impact it has on the families. You talked about it at the top of the show, or someone simply just wanted a photo of where a family member was. They just wanted
and they remembered
to see it.
Yes.
And it seems so. Oh, I can take a picture and send a text. What does that mean? And to that person you sent it to, it meant everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, the reply that I got back was touching. And I don't know if it was the son or daughter or niece or nephew or who it was, a relationship, ship to that, but it meant something very, very much to that person.
Well, we're coming up close to the end of our half hour, so I want to kind of start reminding people about what we've been talking about. The big thing today, January 17th, the cleanup day for the wreaths at the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery. Talk to people about that day, what time they should show up, how they can get involved, how they can roll up their sleeves. Let's give people a little bit of information about that January 17th cleanup day before we part.
So cleanup day is on the 17th, Saturday. It starts at 8 a.m. and it's going around the cemetery, cleaning up not only the wreaths, but any other Christmas decorations that are out there because, we want to help out the cemetery folks. That's, a big job that they have also. And anybody with pickup trucks. We really need people with pickup trucks, and bring a pole or a broom or a sled or a tarp. You can load those up and drag them to the side of the road. And we talked about side of the road. That's the side of the road inside the cemetery.
Yeah,
not on 53.
Them across, all the way to 53. I don't think people would be very happy about seeing trucks of wreaths along 53, but obviously getting it out to the edge of the road within the cemetery so the crews can go by and very easily kind of dispose of everything. But that's January 17th. You can go to WJOL.com. We'll have all of that information up there about how people can participate and what they're looking for and how you can get involved. Maria, before we get out of here, anything you want to say about this event and about kind of NuMark's support of this event and events like it in our area?
I mean, if you haven't had the opportunity to go, I would encourage everyone to go. I know that ever since NuMark started participating in these events, I've made it my mission to attend. I have a brother who is in the service. I have family, like brothers-in-laws, and it's nice to be able to go because I know one day someone hopefully will be there thinking of, the service that my family member. So it's very satisfying. It's very fulfilling, and there is no better way that I feel I can show my gratitude, and I encourage a lot of people to also, if they have the opportunity to go, to take the time to do so.
Well, Maria Marquez, Marketing Assistant with NuMark Credit Union, Michele Barnett, Wreaths Across America Location Coordinator, and Wally Chlipala, Veteran and NuMark Board Member. Thank you very much for coming in, all three of you. We really, really appreciate it. We want to remind you, if you're ready to hit the road in your dream car, NuMark Credit Union makes it easy. Enjoy low rates, flexible terms, and fast approvals on auto loans, whether you're buying new or used. We're here to help you save more and drive happy. For more information, call NuMark Credit Union at 815-729-3211 or visit NuMarkCU.org. That's NuMarkCU.org. Don't forget, you can get all the information of how you can help with the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery cleanup on January 17th on our website, WJOL.com. I'm Evan Bredesen. Coming up next, a rich conversation.